Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was...
Look again. Who is it?
This isn't the Matrix.
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
What are they?
Sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one.
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers. They are guarding all the doors, they are holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
Someone.
I won't lie to you, Neo. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought an agent has died. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
Why?
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
I'm looking in here. Y'all know I love my text. Look at this book. Ancient Egypt, 39,000 BCE. History and Technology and Civilization X. And this is so good. This is such a good book. It certainly won't be the last time that I pulled text from this. Because I mean, this in and of itself can relate to polarity. It was just as complex and hard to navigate through in those days as it would be today. In fact, it's very similar. I think it's good having the red pill space or whatnot, you know, that men get a place to air their grievances. But nonetheless, even with all the talking that we're doing, we got to make sure that we're not just talking about them. You know, we're not just going to sit up and talk about women. That's all they do. Just sit up and talk about us. I mean, they are who we thought they were. You know, it is what it is. Some men weren't privy to that knowledge, but now you see a lot are waking up to that fact, but that's only a premonition of what's to come. It's a reason why men's eyes are all being open to that fact seemingly around the same time. It's like with, you know, inventors all sort of connecting to that Akashic record, and everybody sort of, you know, being able to access an idea, and those ideas sort of pouring into the mainstream, although they always existed. That's information you can use to know what's to come. Because we know whoever built the pyramids knew all things. We can study the mathematical information about the universe that it conveys. Either they are the architect of the universe or they were in close contact with the creator of it. The fact that that's there, where it is on earth, says that the person who put it there knew all things. The people, the group of people that put it there knew all things, and they certainly knew more than what we do now. That had to be the highest expression of humanity and civilization overall. If we are those people, then we need to show that we're those people by doing what those people did. The way we talk, the way we conduct ourselves. So So when we talk about other things here, and meditation and understanding and what we can gain, we need to put our best self out there. If we, as a generation of men, are going to express ourselves on the highest level and not be the middle children, then we must look at great civilizations through meditation, through history, through logical means, and try to attain what they have. Then we must try to express ourselves on the highest level on a day-to-day basis. The red pill space and community should be men seeking the highest expression. That, of course, unplugging for the Matrix is going to have to be learning their true nature, but also the true nature of ourselves. And the true nature of man is a spiritual being. The true nature, purest nature of man. The need to work and want to find your purpose is all wrapped up in a foundation of spirituality. You have to know that you were given a purpose by a thinking substance that was poured into us. The difference between us and animals is the ability to consciously observe and understand what's happening here in the now, to understand God. They talk about some of the statues up in North Egypt and Memphis being not statues of actual men who existed, but rather higher principles, higher expressions of God himself that can be expressed through man. And it's understanding that should be shown. If you say you're those people, you will listen to guys who dress all in the Egyptian garb and say that all that. But dude, if you're not providing any sort of understanding or something that this world hasn't seen or isn't being replicated, if you're not replicating what those people were doing back then how can we prove we are them? If we are them, then we should be building and doing things the way that they are. I see guys studying Gematria and all of that, and that's great in regards to the numbers the universe spits back out at us, but finding the actual year would help. It really doesn't matter if you don't know what the actual year is. If you knew from year one until now, the Egyptians knew exactly what year it is from year one, and they didn't allow when they got conquered for that to be it, because that's the key to the universe. That's what you would need to unlock everything for it all to completely make sense, and which is what we all need to be coming together to meditate on. Knowing year one would reset the matrix that we're in. Civilization expressed itself like that for so long for a reason. When we reset, we'll go back to that place. They don't want the spiritual realm to connect in the fashion that maybe the red pill or any of this other stuff has connected, because they want to drive you more into their fake world. And you think logically they're trying to push you into the metaverse, some sort of fake world that they want you to buy into, sort of a matrix in a matrix that they can completely lock you into and have no hopes of getting you out, which is why they're trying to consolidate the internet into a few sites in and of itself. Any of us who are old enough to remember that the first web was how the dark web is now, and that it was wide open. You can do what you want to do, and they're on that active patrolling. Nonetheless, they want you to buy more into their fake world. You darn right. Your favorite celebrity could not even be real. Get rid of them. They feel like they don't need them. They know what makes you laugh. They know what music you like. We can create that. We got computers that can create all of that. And we ain't got to worry about them trying to wake you up, because they don't want you to reset a game in which they really have no part in. You're dealing with a created people who, when the game is reset, won't be here. It's a scene in the Matrix where one of the most famous scenes in there, where he talks about, well, do you tell me that I'm going to be able to dodge bullets?
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
This is the you won't have to. Resetting the matrix is the you won't have to. You get what I mean? Coming out of it, becoming unplugged, resetting it to the beginning. These people express themselves like this because every time you reset, every time things were a little imbalanced, they would reset things back to a time period. Remember these laws being woven in. The way time expresses itself, the way the whole thing, life itself, the whole universe expresses itself when it's being reset, brought back to balance. This is how it expresses itself. Ancient texts would agree. They don't want you to reset the matrix. You follow me? You hear people talking about experimenting with psychedelic drugs or taking ayahuasca, and you hear them a lot of times say after the fact that during the experience, seeing Egyptian imagery and having sort of conversations with beings and stuff of the Egyptian nature, and they're like, why are we? It's like, because dude, that's the beginning stages of it. So to be taught a lot of times about ourselves, you will encounter those. If you have like an ayahuasca trip or whatnot, you'll hear folks say like, oh, I saw Egyptian imagery, or I saw like an old time period. That's why. If we reset the matrix, it'll feel like we're there again. And your made man who's giving you hell here won't be there. And they know that. But understanding overall where things began from and polarity could be a big help, because logically things are going to express itself the way that they were. And it looks like back then we blew each other into oblivion. It's evidence that we blew a great war. How do we start? How was a lot of this lost if we know that there's evidence of a high technical civilization, ancient civilization? I say that because even here in the Western world, it's a group of people that say that structures similar to this have been found here. Why is that? Exactly. Because that there is the highest expression of humanity and civilization, period. It's the reason why those structures are found all over the world. It's the reason why those structures are found right here in the United States. Egyptian stuff. You know, why you think? Because when you come out of the matrix, when you reset, that's how you're going to express yourself. If we're going to say we those people, and we are those people, then we got to behave like it. And men, that starts with us. We build and make civilization what it is. If we're going to unplug out of the matrix, if we're going to fight what appears to be spiritual warfare, then the great spiritual minds of this world are going to have to come together. And yes, that means real world planning, real world resources, real world logical thinking.
They're scared of you because when you walk in the room, they see God.